So you're already dealing with the grief and all the stresses that come from the loss of a loved one, especially the loss of a loved one who died in a tragic accident. And at least you have this glimmer of hope that the accidental death insurance policy that your loved one has, that you're beneficiary of, is going to take care of some of the financial strain that you're now under. But the next thing you know is you get a letter in the mail where the accidental death insurance company says that they're denying the claim because the death was actually caused by sickness, illness, or natural causes and not by an accident. And you know that the death was actually caused by an accident. Well, insurance companies use what they call the sickness, illness, or natural causes exclusion in an accidental death insurance policy to try to deny valid claims all the time. Automobile accidents, bad falls, and drownings are some of the most common types of accidents where we see insurance companies raise the exclusion as a defense. Well, one thing to keep in mind if you've been denied a claim based on an exclusion, do not give up. The insurance companies are often wrong, and you can prove them wrong either on appeal or in court if they deny your appeal. Hi, I'm McNamara. I spent years representing the insurance companies before quitting that to use the knowledge I gained there to represent people against insurance companies when they deny insurance claims. Insurance claim denials are 100% what we do in this office, and we handle these claims every day. We'll go through the steps that we take to appeal a denied claim that we call our Win My Benefits process. Step one in this process we call gather. In that step, we gather all evidence known to exist that we can look at that could help potentially prove the insurance company wrong in denying your claim. It begins with a request to the insurance company that they produce their entire claim file to you as a claimant and beneficiary. They're required to give you the file by law, and if they don't give it to you timely within 30 days, they incur penalties. You should make this request in writing so that it's of record, and when you get that claim file, you need to go through every page, and it will have things like toxicology reports, police reports, ambulance reports, first responder reports, witness statements perhaps, and it will shed light on what the insurance company's reasoning was, what experts it may have hired to look at the facts and support their conclusion that the exclusion applies to your case. And it'll also include the insurance policy and any denial letters or prior versions of the denial letter before they sent it to you. So you need to get all this evidence together so you can see what the insurance company is relying on to support their denial and what evidence might be in that same record that will support your position that the denial based on the exclusion was wrong. Step two in our Win My Benefits process is to organize. And what I mean by that is when you get the claim file from the insurance company, you're going to find that it's a disorganized mess. There's going to be duplicate pages, there's going to be blank pages, and it might be anywhere from several hundred to several thousand pages of records. What you need to do is take that file, organize it, tab it, make basically an index of it, sequentially page number the entire file, put it into a computer program that lets the text be searchable, and that way you're going to have sort of a roadmap of exactly what exists in that record, and it's going to be useful for you when you make your argument appealing the denial or later making your argument to the court, where you can, in a very organized fashion, cite to a specific case number within that big file where the court or the insurance company during your appeal can follow exactly what you're talking about and look at the documentary evidence very easily as they go through your argument. The third step in our Win My Benefits process is to analyze. And by that I mean analyze the precise reasons that the insurance company claims they are permitted to deny the claim based upon this exclusion, and also analyze the very wording of the exclusion itself in the insurance policy and see if it makes sense that they can exclude under the facts of your case. And the wording of these exclusions is very important because from policy to policy, the wording can change just a little, and that difference in the exclusions provisions can make or break your case. And I'll give you an example of two different ways that exclusions can be written. There are sickness, illness, and natural causes exclusions that are written to exclude deaths only when the sickness or illness directly causes the death itself. Now, that's very different from an exclusion for sickness or illness that excludes where an accident is caused by a sickness or illness, but it is independent injuries of that accident and not the illness or sickness itself that causes the death. Now, under that kind of exclusion, as long as the illness or sickness caused the accident to happen, it does not have to directly cause the death in order for the insurance company to get away with excluding your claim because of it. And I'll give you an example. Under the type of exclusion that excludes if just the accident is caused by the illness or sickness, I had a client whose husband died when he drowned in a pool, and the medical evidence determined that he did have a significant heart event that caused him to drown in the pool. But that heart event, it turns out, would not have killed him independently. It would not have been a fatal heart event except for the fact that he was in a swimming pool and drowned. If he was on land and that drowning accident wouldn't have happened, the heart condition and that incident would not have killed him. Well, under the first kind of exclusion that only excludes if the sickness or illness directly and independently causes the death, this man's claim could not be validly excluded by the insurance company. But if the exclusion was of the type that the sickness or illness only has to cause the accident that in turn produces independent injuries that cause the death, then the insurance company would be proper in excluding the claim under that circumstance. So it's extremely important to look very closely at the definitions in the policy and what type of exclusion you have for the sickness, illness, or natural causes, and you apply that exact definition to the facts of your case, and you see if there might be area of disagreement with the insurance company as to how they're interpreting that exclusion. The other thing we like to do under the analyze portion of the Win My Benefits process is look at the exact case law where courts and judges have decided these cases and interpreted language similar to the language in your policy under facts similar to the facts of your policy and ruled in a way that would support the insurance company having to give you the benefits. And when you can find cases, the closer the case is in the fact scenario and in the language of the insurance exclusion, where a court granted benefits and reversed the insurance company's denial of benefits, you can use those cases to support your argument on appeal when you appeal the denial back to the insurance company. And you can also use those cases to help support your argument that the judge should overturn a denial if your case gets denied again on appeal and you have to go to court to continue fighting it. The next step in the Win My Benefits process, step 4, is build. And by build, I mean that once you have seen what the insurance company has in its claim file, all the reporting, what medical evidence there may be, what witness statements there may be, and you might find out that there were other witnesses on the scene, and you might talk to them and find out if they have a different version of events. You might decide that there's medical records that are relevant that were not included in the claim file and were not considered by the insurance company. Well, you might want to go get those records and include them and see how they may help support your claim. And you might even, in many cases, want to hire an independent expert, usually a physician, who specializes in the relevant field of medicine to the claim at hand, and let that expert review all of the records and decide if he or she agrees with the insurance company's denial, or maybe comes to the conclusion that it was not the sickness or illness or natural cause at all that caused the death, but it was directly caused by an accident, despite what the insurance company might be claiming. We do that all the time. Step 5 in the Win My Benefits process is to execute. And by that I mean You take all of the evidence that was in the original claim file, the insurance policy exclusion provision, the denial letter reasons, and then the evidence that you've built or created and added to what the insurance company didn't have. That might include the report from an expert you hired. It might include other witness statements. It might include other medical records. It really just depends from case to case. But you take that and the case law that you've reviewed, and you weave that all together into your best argument, factually and legally, why the insurance company was wrong in their denial, why you are right and entitled to benefits, and you submit that to the insurance company. You wait for them to rule on the appeal, and sometimes they'll grant the appeal if you convince them that they're going to lose if they take it to court. If they deny the appeal, your work was not for nothing, because now you can use all the work you put into this, all the evidence that you've built up, and that's going to help you try to convince a judge in federal court that they were wrong in continuing to deny the claim. So final thoughts. It's really impossible to generalize exactly how you would build evidence to fight a claim denial under an exclusion, because the facts are so different. The insurance policy's provisions and exclusions are so different from case to case. And I would say the best thing to do is, before you create your appeal, before you talk to the adjuster, before you do anything, you can download our free book. It's on this website, or you can get it at winmybenefits.com. And it's our book, How to Win Your Accidental Death and Dismemberment Denial Appeal. Read that. It's full of information, makes you aware of the traps and the tricks that the insurance company will try to play with you on the way and how to avoid those. And it gives you a broad overview of how the process works in general, the timing of it, the deadlines, and other important things that you need to know if you're going to handle one of these claims. If you'd like to talk, better yet, give us a call, and we're happy to talk to you about your claim. It's free of charge, no cost to evaluate your denial letter, and we love helping people with these. We'd love to help you any way we can, and I appreciate you listening to this. I hope it was helpful. Have a great day.